Hey, ACPS families, here's a few tips to help manage learning at home.
Remember that you are not alone. There are over 1,000 teaching, learning, and support staff members at ACPS, and we are on your team. So please reach out to us when your child needs help or when you need help. I know as parents, we pride ourselves on being our child's first teachers, and sometimes it's hard to remember that we're not their only teacher, especially when school buildings are closed and distance learning is being served. But hear this, you do not have to be the academic coach. Maybe it's just been too long since you've seen the material that your student is working on. Maybe you're an essential worker and not at home when your child is completing their work, or maybe your hands are just full. In addition to the online instruction that our teachers are delivering, ACPS has a free 24-hour, 7-day-a-week tutoring service that's available to all students in grades 6 through 12. Each session is one-on-one, is individualized to the subject matter that your student selects, and it's a very simple process for the student. They can simply sign into Canvas, which they're all accustomed to doing, click on Student Resources, choose the subject, and they'll be connected to a tutor in about 60 seconds. So please trust our teachers and tutors to help you and your child understand any content or concepts that they might be finding challenging. Trust our tech team too. Help desk at acps.k12.va.us. You don't have to be the IT guy. If your child is having trouble connecting their Wi-Fi device or if their Chromebook is running slow, we have a team here for that. And we'd rather you not allow that frustration to creep in with technical issues when we have professionals here who can help troubleshoot and resolve those types of concerns. Finally, we want you to know that you don't have to be screen patrol either. And this one is difficult for me too because I have kids at home, but with children spending more time on screens during the screen closure, I know that I worry more about what they're really doing on these devices. If you encourage your child to use their ACPS issued device for both academic work and downtime, that can alleviate some of that worry because all ACPS devices are subject to ACPS content filtering. And if you want an additional layer of internet security, the Securely Parent portal allows parents to view students' keyword searches, the sites visited, and videos watched. You can also add additional restrictions to categories such as social media and specific sites. Now, additional information about each of those resources is available on the ACPS at Home website that's listed at the bottom of this slide. We encourage you to take advantage of these resources so that you don't get to the point where you're feeling overwhelmed, like you have to be the IT guy and the tutor and the screen patrol. And if you're already there, please, again, take advantage of these resources so you can start easing off of some of those feelings. So we just mentioned screen time, and many experts have really agreed that traditional screen time rules do not apply during this pandemic. We know that kids are going to be on the screens more doing work, both with their teachers and for homework, but our middle schoolers and high schoolers also want to see their friends, which will have to happen via FaceTime or Zoom or a similar platform. So we're just going to encourage you to try to manage screens so that your children don't spend all day on the devices, but that there are some constructive ways in which screen time can be used during the pandemic. As parents, we can support their contacting friends through screens. We know that our young people generally see their friends at school, and socializing with them is an important part of their development. So suggest that they FaceTime a friend or a small group of friends at a particular time. We also have to continue encouraging responsible use though, and establish out of bounds behaviors. So having that talk about posting inappropriate content or private information, impersonating someone, making threats, That's something that we'll have to remind them about, because digital footprints are not pandemic proof, right? The consequences from engaging in any of these are still very real. Finally, we would just encourage you to find ways to make screen time opportunities to engage with your child. Maybe you're watching a movie together or playing a game together. Just don't let screen time be a source of additional stress for you or tension in your household. Our next tip has to do with helping students take ownership. We know that parents, right, we're juggling responsibilities and managing some pretty complicated through this pandemic, and so are our students. They're experiencing some pretty intense feelings right now. Middle schoolers and high schoolers are adjusting to and struggling with the loss of independence that they normally have right now. Being stuck at home with parents and siblings week after week has really interrupted their transition to independence. And so that interruption can be a source of tension at home. Our advice here is to allow some new freedoms and create some increased responsibilities for your child. Now, this is not us giving up power or parental responsibility. As parents, we still have to set the expectations, but maybe we're a little bit more flexible with bedtimes or where devices can be used. Maybe we're speaking with them about an independent project that they can work on based on something that they really love and enjoy. On the academic front, setting the expectation that they're signing in every day and reading teacher announcements daily is the first step, but encouraging them to take ownership of their own learning is the next. And we can do that by using the schedules that have been shared by our schools. That's a start. It's easy to look at the schedules and see them as prescriptive, but they're not. If you read the fine print, the messaging that accompanies all of these schedules states that students can complete their assignments in any order and at any time during the day. So the scheduled times are really when teachers will be actively online to support students. So please work with your child, talk with your child, and determine what works best for them and for your family. The grading policy is another opportunity to open up a conversation and allow for some student leadership around establishing and agreeing upon some academic priorities during this time, keeping in mind that the grading scheme for Q4 is unlike any that we've seen before. Final grades for fourth quarter will either be a pass or no grade. And if a student does receive a pass grade for the overall year, that will be factored into final grade calculations as a 100% for the fourth quarter. That's a real gift for all students in terms of being able to improve the trajectory for their GPAs and their grades. So if you haven't found the routine that works for your child or discussed the grading policy, please feel free to text link mail to 797979, and we'll connect you with the staff or resources to help develop a learning at home routine or a prioritization schedule that works for your family. Finally, final tip that I'll leave you with is to give yourself grace. Know that it won't be perfect. These times aren't perfect, but our children are really learning some invaluable lessons right now in patience, in the value of relationships, in critical thinking, in innovation. And ACPS's goal throughout this closure is to make sure that children have the opportunity to develop skills in a flexible way that enables them to get educational benefits. So please give yourself grace, celebrate your child's efforts and achievements, practice some self-talk, some positive self-talk. If you were able to get signed into all of your math classes this week, celebrate that, and give encouragement and celebrate how they're handling learning during this time.